Americans are strong, determined, and resilient, and we will support each other. And we will work very hard to minimize whatever the effect of what's coming at us. We don't even know what's coming at us. All we know is it's possibly the biggest. I'm not sure that I've ever even heard of a Category 5. I knew it existed, and I've seen some Category 4s. You don't even see them that much, but a Category 5 is something that I don't know that I've ever even heard the term, other than I know it's there. That's the ultimate, and that's what we have, unfortunately.
This is Trump claiming that he's never heard of a Category 5 hurricane while bragging about the size of Hurricane Dorian. Now, right off the bat, not only are Cat 5 hurricanes not unprecedented, but Dorian isn't even the first Category 5 hurricane of his own presidency. Trump has literally been in office during Irma, Maria, and Michael, all of which were Cat 5 storms. And worse, this isn't even the first time that Trump has said he's never heard of a Category 5 hurricane. He said it twice in September of 17, he said it in October of 17, he said it in May of 2019, and now August of 2019. Imagine not only exposing how unknowledgeable you are, but repeating it ad nauseum. Because normally, that isn't something that most people, much less the President of the United States, would want to brag about. What with Category 5 storms being relatively common these days. I don't see how that instills a sense of confidence in Trump's abilities that he's not aware of a basic weather phenomenon. It's almost like the guy who called global warming a Chinese hoax isn't a good source for weather-related news. And I know that it's easy to point out what looks like Trump's declining mental fitness, but it's valid to be concerned when the most powerful person on the face of the earth can't remember hearing about something that he also couldn't remember hearing about 3 months ago, which he also didn't remember hearing about multiple times before that. We shouldn't have to worry that the person with the nuclear codes would fail third grade science. And look, aside from his very tenuous grasp on his own cognitive abilities, what's below all of this is this perverted idea that the size of the hurricane is a personal accomplishment. The way he brags about big hurricanes makes it sound as if he's proud that they'll be part of his legacy. Because we all know that Trump loves superlatives. His administration has done more than any other administration in history. This is the best economy we've ever had. It's less about the idea of keeping people safe and more about bragging about their size and strength, like he's personally going into battle against it. Because if it was actually about keeping Americans safe, he would take steps to tackle climate change, which scientists have agreed are exacerbating the magnitude and frequency of these storms. That's why we're having 100-year storms, sometimes 2, 3, 4 at a time every single year. That's why we're seeing wildfires ravage entire states, why droughts are devastating our farmers' crops, why less rainfall in Utah is shrinking the water levels in lakes, exposing alkaline dust which pollutes the air. It's why we just saw Brooklyn underwater. It's why we're seeing hailstorms in Guadalajara, Mexico in July. Why we're seeing polar bears migrating all the way down to Russia because the ice has melted in the Arctic. It's why we've seen record-breaking heat waves in Alaska prompting wildfires to burn millions of acres. It's why the northernmost permanently inhabited spot on the planet, a settlement called Alert, about 560 miles from the North Pole, is hitting temperatures of 70 degrees Fahrenheit. It's why Iceland has officially lost its first glacier and expects to lose the rest of them in the next 200 years. And the only reason this continues unchecked, why absolutely nothing is being done, is because Republicans get donations from fossil fuel companies. This isn't rocket science, or any science at all when it comes to Republicans. The top 20 recipients of fossil fuel donations in the House were all Republicans, and the top 20 recipients of fossil fuel donations in the Senate were also all Republicans. We've seen senators like Jim Inhofe from Oklahoma literally bring a snowball onto the Senate floor to try and disprove climate change.
In case we have forgotten, because we keep hearing that 2014 has been the warmest year on record, I asked the chair, you know what this is? It's a snowball, and that's just from outside here. So it's very, very cold out.
Do they really not believe in climate change? They likely do. I mean, the effects literally couldn't be more apparent, but the fact is that they aren't willing to forego donations for their re-elections, so they would rather deny climate change even exists than to do anything that would jeopardize their cash flow. They'd rather let the effects of climate change worsen, facilitate bigger hurricanes and wildfires and droughts, let people die en masse because none of that matters as much as their fat checks being cut from one election cycle to the next. So whether it's Trump bragging about how big the storms are or the rest of his party ensuring that they'll continue to get bigger, the Republicans are less interested in keeping us safe from them than they are in profiting off of them.